I think we had interacted last semester. So this semester we'll be having some revision, yeah, for your exams. And for today, I've decided to take you through the topic in networks. Together, you know what in networks? I want to revise all the networks. Together, yeah, because now in this topic for networks, you must know what is a network. Together, yeah, the devices which are used to go to a network, the devices. Then you must be knowing the objectives of a network, classifications of a network, and still you're supposed to know the transmission medium. Together, that is what the network. Together, maybe can revise this topic in networks. Together, and I want now this class to be interactive. To be what? Interactive. Yeah. Maybe you can start by defining what is a network, because you know now a network, it entails the combination of what hardware and software together. Because now for a network we must have what we call some devices together. We have said that a network is a combination of what hardware and software. Bridge. We have a switch. Is it true? We have a bridge. We have a switch. We have a gateway. Is it true?
Yes.
We have a repeater. I think we have. There's a mic which is having a lot of echoes.
Yeah.
There's someone with. I think it is Ezekiel. Is that together? Now we can proceed together. I'm saying we have some devices, some hardware devices. We have what we call. We have a switch. Is it true? We have a hub. We have a repeater. We have a gateway. We have a router together. These are some of the devices. So I'm saying we have the devices together. Now, before you go to the devices, you must be knowing the objectives of a network. And one of the objectives of a network is what you call hardware sharing. For example, if you have ever seen in a cyber cafe, you can have one printer and a computer in a network. Now that printer is being shared over that network. That is what you call hardware sharing. Then another objective or another benefit of having a network is what we call communication. You can send information via the network. For example, in case you're having 10 computers and you want to share a document with all these computers, there is a way you can share that document over that network. And you have to be very, very careful. There is a difference between a network and an internet. Still, you can have another benefit is what we call software sharing. In terms of software sharing, for example, we can have one server and several kind of computers. So what happens now, instead of installing the application programs in the current computers, you just install the application program in the server. So that now, in case one computer maybe wants to use a certain program, it is given access by the server. That is what we call software sharing. Then there is what we call file sharing. File sharing is almost similar to the program sharing. But now what happens in file sharing, you can just share maybe a certain document or a certain file over that network. So these are some of the objectives of a network. And now from the objectives now, we have some of the terminologies that are used in the network. I think you have heard about the term, we have the term server, we have the term what is a kind of computer, we have the term transmission medium. So which are these terminologies which are used in a network? And some of these terminologies, they act as the devices in a network. For example, we have the term server. What is a server? Because now in every network, there is a chance of having a server. So whenever we talk about a server is a much more powerful computer that incorporates faster processors together, that incorporates faster processors, faster large disk drives. It must have a large memory. That is a server. And every computer can be a server. But now what the difference between the normal computer and a server is that for that server, it must be having a large memory. For example, can have 2 terabytes or even 30 terabytes. They must be having many disk drives, because now the normal current computer has just one disk drive. Then still we can have faster processors. It cannot have a RAM of 2 GB. It can have maybe 8 GB. That is what a server. Then another terminology you always come across is the term client. What is a client computer? A client computer is that device that allows you to log into the network and to take advantage of the resources in a in a network, that device that allows you to take advantage of the resources in a network, that device can be a smartphone. Still, that device can be a computer. And terminology you always come across in a network is a terminal. Whenever you hear the term terminal, a terminal is a device. But now this device, it must be having two attributes. It must be having two characteristics. We have what we call a display device and you have a keyboard. So a terminal is that device having a display screen and a what? And a key and a keyboard. We have a smartphone, is a what? Is a terminal. Still, a computer can be a what? Can be a terminal. It can be a terminal. Then we can have some of the devices which are using now in a network. And one of the devices in the network is what we call a router. A router. Now, a router now is that device that allows the user or it is able to forward packets in a network. For example, maybe I have a document here. Maybe I'm like the kind of computer, and I want now this document to be sent to a certain computer using what? An IP address. That is the work of the router to forward packets to the intended destination. Still, the same router can be used to connect to the ISP. For example, Safaricom is what an ISP. So you can use the router to communicate with the ISP. That is what the router. Then another device that is used in a network is what we call a switch. Actually, now the purpose of a switch it is to extend the network. For example, in case you have 10 computers, there is no way you can connect these computers unless you have a switch. So the purpose of a switch it is to extend the network. For example, in case now I have one document, and this document, I want this document to be shared across 10 computers. I have to ensure that these computers are connected out in the network using what? A central device called what? A switch. And now there's a difference between a switch and a hub. Because now the same switch and hub performs the same functions. Now, what is a hub now? A hub is still a device that is used to extend a network. But now the hub has what? Less number of ports. You can have five ports, or even 3 ports. So the main difference between a switch and a hub is that a switch is more intelligent than a hub. A switch has more number of ports than a what? Than a hub. That is a what? A switch. Another device or another hardware that you always come across in a network is what we call a repeater. Is what we call a repeater. So I'm saying another device is what we call a repeater. So what happens, for example, in case you are sending a document or maybe data is being transmitted over a long distance, sometimes the signal becomes what? Weak and weak. So what happens now, for example, maybe I'm the ISP or I'm the customer. I have paid for 10 MBs per second from the ISP and I'm 100 kilometers away. So what happens now? That signal becomes what? Weak and weak. You realize maybe after 10 kilometers, the signal is not at 10 MBs per second. The signal is at 9 MBs per second. But to ensure the consistency of that speed or that bandwidth, we have to install what? A repeater. So the purpose of a repeater now, it is to regenerate the signal. For example, kama ilikuwa at 9 MBs per second, ikifika kwa the customer itakuwa at 10 MBs per second. That is what we call a repeater, a device that is used to regenerate the signal. Then still you come across the term bridge. In a bridge. You come across the term bridge. Now the purpose of a bridge now is to connect two different local area networks. For example, in the case you're having local area LAN 1 and you're having LAN 2, we can use networks. Still, you come across the term router. Router is a combination of a router and a bridge. It performs the same functionalities of a router and a bridge. So one of the functions of a router it is to connect two different local area networks. Still, the bridge can be used to connect two different wide area networks. Still, the bridge can be used to forward packets to the intended destination. Still, the router can be used to connect to the ISP. Cross, are you together? Alan? Yeah, so I was discussing some of the devices that use the network together, and I think we have discussed concerning what is a router, what is a bridge. Now, Ezekiel, what have I discussed?
Yes.
What is a router? I have discussed the functions of a router. What is a router? Yes. Remember you're having revision. We're having revision for the networks. I'm asking. Yeah, what is a router?
Yeah.
Yes. Osman.
Yes.
Just give me two functions I've said concerning a router. Just give me two functions of a router.
It is a device that is used to forward data packets.
Yeah, correct. You have said that. Yes, that is one. Another one.
They perform traffic direction functions on the internet.
That is correct. Now, Michelle.
Yes.
Yeah, just give us one function of a router because I've discussed what is a router. Just give us one function of a router. Yeah, one function of a router. Michelle, just give us one function of a router. No, Ezekiel.
Yes.
Yeah, just give us one function of a bridge. Just give us one function of a bridge.
It connects
Yes.
to.
Yes. One function of a bridge.
Sending data packets.
Still can. Yeah, because we have seen now it combines the features of a router and a bridge together. Then I have discussed another device called. I have discussed another device called a repeater. Is it true? Yeah, I want root of Festus now. I want Festus root to explain the purpose of a repeater. I've just explained. I want root of Festus. Festus. Yeah, I want Festus to answer that. Festus. Now we say now that the purpose for a repeater now it is to regenerate the signal. Because I've said, for example, in the case now data was being sent or a signal was traveling from the ISP to the customer. And sometimes now maybe the bandwidth was around 40 MBs per second. Sometimes it becomes weak because of the day of the distance. So we must have a repeater praise at different location. And we said the purpose of a repeater it is to regenerate the signal together. Yeah, then another device you come across is what we call, I think we have discussed the bridge together. There is the term network packet. No, a network packet is the unit of data. A network packet is a unit of data that is able to be transmitted over that network. So Festus.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted you to answer a question. I think that because I can see, remember we are supposed to have some revision. I think that in the class is supposed to be interactive. So I want you to explain to me the purpose of a switch.
Switch.
Yeah, a switch here. A switch. Yes, what is the purpose of a switch? The purpose of a switch.
It connects.
It connects.
It connects the computers. The computer connects several computers into a network.
Yeah, maybe you can say in simple terms, it is able to extend the network together. Still, we say that a switch is supposed to be intelligent together. Yeah, what about the hub? Yeah, what about a hub now? What is a hub?
Hub.
What about a hub? What is the purpose of a hub?
Hub.
Yeah, because I've just I've just explained. Now, we see now the hub. The hub performs the same functions as a what? Is a switch. It's a switch. But now a switch is intelligent than a what? Than a hub. Than a hub. And a hub is used to connect a smaller what? Smaller device together. Maybe like 3 devices together or 5 devices. Because you know a switch can have what? Like 24 ports. Understood?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the main difference. Now, another device you'll come across in a network is the term modem. Remember, because you know modem, the work of a modem is to convert the incoming digital signal to analog signal so that it can be transmitted over ordinary telephone lines. Now, the modem has 2 abbreviations. They have modulator, what? Demodulator. You have modulator, demodulator. We have the modulator. No, to modulate now, it is to convert digital signal to analog signal. To demodulate now, it is to convert now an analog signal back to digital signal. And we have types of modem. We have the internal modem, and we have what? The wireless modem. So these are some of the terminologies you will always come across in a network. Now the network now is classified. So you have what you call the classifications of a network. Remember, network can be classified by 2 things, either by size type. We can start by discussing the classifications of a network based on what? Based on size. We would call a local area network. For example, a network that is in a school setup, that is a what? A local area network. That is a network that spans or covers a small geographical region. And I have said an example is a what? A school network. A network that covers a small geographical region. That is a what? A local area network. Then we have to call a metropolitan area network. We have metropolitan area network. From the term metropolitan, you can know there's a city. So in a metropolitan area network, it is a network that covers a smaller geographical region than a one, but larger than a what? Than a land. In a good example, you can have a city network. Network in a what? In a city. That is what we call a metropolitan area network. Then we have what we call a wide area network. Is the term applies. A one spans what? A large physical distance. For example, in a country. That is what we call a wide area network. So that was the classification based on what? Based on type. We can have a LAN, a MAN, a WAN. Still, we can have what we call the personal area network. Still, the personal area network, this is a network that spans a very small geographical region. For example, like an office setup. For example, in case you have a laptop, in that laptop, you have connected that laptop using what? Maybe some Wi-Fi, maybe using your hotspot, your smartphone hotspot. That is a what? A personal area network. And most of the times, a PAN operates within what? Maybe the single computer. So that was the classification based on what? Based on size. Then the next classification is the classification based on what? Network type, or what we call the point of control. And this one we have actually 2 types. We have what we call the peer-to-peer network, and we have the server-based networks. And most organizations, they use what we call a peer-to-peer network. Now, in a peer-to-peer network, we do not have what we call centralized administration. We do not have an administrator who governs the security of that network. Because what happens now, in this network, the peer-to-peer network or the P2P network, you just connect the devices using what? A switch. And we do not have a server in this network. Individual users are supposed to manage their own resources. Individual users are supposed to manage their own resources. And now, what are the benefits of having this network? One of the benefits of having this network is that it is easy to install. Why? For example, in case you have 2 computers, you just connect the 2 computers using what? A LAN cable. That is enough. Easy to install. For example, in terms of configuration, when you're setting the data, it's very easy. So easy to install and easy to configure. Now, still, it is less expensive to purchase and operate. Just require a few cables and a few computers. Another advantage of having this network, we do not have the presence of a dedicated server. Why? Individual users can manage their own resources, their own kind of computers. And it works best for example, in case an organization is having less than 10 people, the best type of network is to use is what we call a peer-to-peer network. But in case now the personnel organization are able to exceed 10, we use what we call the server-based network. But now this network has some limitations. One of the limitations is what we call security policies. Security policies. For example, in case you have that shared documents, or in case you have that shared resources, you must have that password. That is a limitation. Security policies implemented. In case you want to share that documents, you have to have that password. Still, the users may be required to use as many passwords as they are what shared resources. That is almost similar to the network policy point. Still, there is no centralized organization scheme to locate or to manage the resources. We do not have an administrator, or we do not have a dedicated server. Still, another limitation of having this network, in case now the number of people in the organization are able to extend, you can call a peer-to-peer network. Peer-to-peer. So, class, have you understood the peer-to-peer network? Class, have you understood the peer-to-peer network? Any question on the peer-to-peer network? Any question? Ezekiel, any question in the peer-to-peer?
No question.
Osman? Yeah, no question. Ezekiel, any question in the peer-to-peer? Ezekiel, any question?
No, I'm good.
So you have understood the peer-to-peer network.
Yeah.
What about Michelle? Any question? Yeah, good. Michelle, any question in the peer-to-peer network? Yeah, Festus, any question in the peer-to-peer network? Oshieng, any question? Oshieng Alan, any question in the peer-to-peer network? So you can proceed to the server-based network. Can you proceed? I want to ask some questions before I proceed. So Festus,
Yes.
any question in the peer-to-peer network? Any question?
No.
Oh, that is good. What about Alan Oshieng? Any question in the peer-to-peer network? No, that was what we call the peer-to-peer network. The next classification based on type is what we call the server-based network. We have the server-based network. Now, in this one, there is what we call dedicated control. We must have that centralized organization scheme. We must have an administrator who is responsible for managing that network. Now, for this one, it is very, very expensive. Why? It incorporates servers. And these servers now, they must be very, very efficient. They must be very, very strong. Remember I said that a server incorporates extra peripherals. Can contain maybe like 10 disk drive. It has a large memory. And the processors now must be very, very fast. That is what a server. Now, in this one now, we have a central device. The server is in the middle. Then the client computers are connected to the server. In case now we have two client computers, and the client computer one requires to use a certain resource from client two, it must be given permission by the server. And see what happens in this network now. Instead of installing application programs in the client computer, application programs the server. So in the current computers, you just install them, for example, like just the OS. But something like the MS Word, MS Excel, you just install them in the server. So what are the benefits of having the server-based network? In case the organization has more than 10 people, that is the best network to use. So they are most effective in an organization which has what? More than 10 people. Another benefit of having this network is efficiency. Very, very efficient. Why? It incorporates the use of what? Powerful equipment.
We're now unmuted.
So I discussed the differences between the peer-to-peer network and what we call the server-based network. Now, I'm saying I was discussing the difference between the server-based network and what we call the peer-to-peer network. Now, I want to be Olopic to give us two advantages of the server-based network. Just give us two advantages I have discussed concerning the server-based network. Yeah, Olo to give us two advantages. Ezekiel.
Yes.
Just give us two advantages of the server-based network. Just give us two advantages of the server-based network.
They are efficient as they use very powerful equipment.
Yeah, that is correct. Another one I have discussed.
It's secure as the control is only by the admin.
Yeah, that is correct. Because we say we have what we call a centralized administrator right together. Then I think Osman.
Yes.
You're being too silent now. I want now you just explain to us now the peer-to-peer network now. Explain to us the peer-to-peer network.
Okay. The peer-to-peer network is when different computers from different areas are connected on the internet, whereby they can share data and files.
Yeah, because now, but I think not the internet necessarily, because now sometimes there's a difference between a network and internet together. Sometimes you might have a network, but there's no internet together. So it is in a network together. Yeah. Then how does it work? Explain how it works now.
The computer systems which are connected to each other share files directly between the system network without the need of a central server.
Yeah, that is correct. Now, what are the two disadvantages of having this network? What are the two disadvantages of having this network?
It is not efficient.
Not efficient? Why not efficient?
Because it acts both as a server and a client. So there can be some confusions.
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, that is correct. And Michelle, where is Michelle? He's supposed to explain. Where is Michelle? She has been silent. Because the guy is supposed to be interactive. Have Hamza Marim. Now, Hamza Marim, you can just give us two advantages of talk. Hamza Marim, two advantages of having a peer network. As discussed initially. Marim, Hamza Marim, just give us two advantages. So Marim just give us the two advantages of the server-based network. Now, because I can see we are having a lot of problems with the network, next time I'll use Zoom. I think Zoom, most of you have suggested Zoom is a bit better. So for now, I'll give you a question. A question is supposed to discuss the network in the chat room. I'm just putting it there because we're having a lot of problems with the network. But I think the class was a bit lively, so there was a problem in the network. What about Ezekiel?
I can say the connection and the platform is complicated to use.
Yeah, or so it's complicated to use. What about Michelle Olo? What was your main challenge today? Yeah, so maybe we can do this in the next class now. Maybe we can adopt Zoom right together. Is it true? Maybe we can adopt Zoom. We can use Zoom. It's a bit better. Yeah. Can you agree on Zoom?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ezekiel Zoom is a bit better. What about Osman?
It is 100% better than this one.
Yeah, because I can see now this one is having a lot of problems, especially with the connectivity. A lot of you are sending me messages, they're having a lot of problems. So maybe what I'm going to do now, I'm posing a question in the discussion group. You're supposed to discuss, and I'll be waiting for your feedback in the discussion group. Right together, I'm posting it just now. You discuss that question, and I'll be waiting for your feedback. So I have reposted the question on the chat. I hope you can see it. Just confirm. I want to discuss that. Have you seen the question? I've posted. You're supposed to discuss it at the forums. You can use the forums or you can use the chat. I've posted. I hope you can see it. I want to discuss that. I'll be previewing the feedback. Yeah, that is that is it. I want to discuss now. I'll be previewing every student's feedback together. I want to discuss that together. I'll be confirming. Yeah. I want to
So
discuss that. Each and every
are we
student.
discussing?
Yeah, each and every student, you have to give me 3 benefits of having that network in a hospital together. I'll be previewing that. Yeah.
Through an audio or a text?
A text on that page. You're supposed to discuss that. I'll confirm right together.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm confirming. You discuss that. Yeah, but for now, the video conferencing class is over together. It's over. So you want to just discuss that. But next time we have a group, shall use Zoom because we're having a lot of problems today.